Am I wrong for accidentally telling my fiancé I hate his sister and she won't be a part of my wedding? This situation is literally ridiculous, but this whole thing has caused almost nuclear warfare across the family, so I'm here to get a consensus. I, 26 female, have been with my fiancé, Chris, 26 male, for 4 years now. He and his sister, 21 female Lilac, are very close. They had a pretty traumatic childhood and always promised each other to be there no matter what. Lilac is a good sister to him, but as a person, truthfully, I can't stand her. She is literally the textbook definition of a bubbly blonde. She is overly charismatic, always giggling, and in general, just acts too immature for my taste. She likes to pull pranks every once in a while on my fiancé and he gets her back, but the whole ordeal just seems childish and obnoxious to me. Ever since we got engaged, I knew I didn't want her in my wedding party because that means I'd have to spend time with her at my bachelorette and other parties. Fast forward to last night, and my fiancé asks me when I plan on asking Lilac to be a bridesmaid. I got quiet and truthfully said I didn't plan on doing so. This upset him because he said he wants his sister to be a part of the most important day of his life and that if I didn't do it he was going to make her a groomswoman to make sure she is included. I can't lie, this set me off. I went off about how I want to feel respected by him and be able to enjoy my wedding day. He said he also wants to enjoy his day, which to be fair, I understand. This is where I may be TA. I told him that I have always disliked his sister and wished he would just not include her for once on a day that isn't even about her. He got quiet and went into our guest room to be alone. A couple of minutes later, I got a text from Lilac that she completely respects my decision to not want her in the wedding party, but she's hurt to know what I actually feel about her. I didn't want her to find out at all, and now he's told his whole family about our argument. Half of them are attacking me, and half of them are saying it's my day, so I should be able to enjoy it. Honestly, this whole ordeal is stressful for no reason, because Lilac isn't even upset. I don't want her in my wedding party, yet the whole family is upset and my fiancé has been very short with me all day. Am I the AH? Am I wrong for asking for my parking spot back from my neighbor? So about 8 months ago, I moved into a new apartment. I didn't have a car at the time. I worked from home and very seldom left my apartment. My apartment came with an assigned parking spot. And since I didn't have a car, I didn't care if someone parked there. A few weeks after I moved in, a neighbor noticed I didn't have a car and came to my door and asked if they could park there. I said sure. They even offered to pay me $20 a month. I said it was fine and they could have it. Well, I bought a car on Saturday. At first, I figured I would just park on the street. But it became apparent that parking on the street wouldn't always be easy. Yesterday, I came home and couldn't find parking. I ended up parking a block away. And all I could think about was my car being broken into. So this morning, I went to the neighbor who I gave my spot to and asked if I could please have it back. They said no. And that I gave it to them. I explained the situation of not having a car before, but now that I do need the spot. They became angry and basically told me to F off. I ended up texting the building supervisor and he told me he will be coming tomorrow to resolve the issue. He basically said that the spot is mine and he will make them move. I didn't mean to mess their situation up. But like damn, I pay for that spot. Well, it's in my rent. And I need it now. Am I wrong for calling an intern at my husband's work a little boy? My husband, 38 male, is high enough in the company that he works at that he has his own secretary and staff. It is common for me to show up at the office to drop stuff off or go get lunch with him. Recently, I have noticed a new intern Jack, 22 male. I personally don't think he likes me, but that didn't bother me until today. I went to go drop off some papers for my husband today. It was supposed to be a quick in and out. I have his schedule, so I knew he wasn't in a meeting or anything. In fact, it was his hour lunch break. So I go up the secretary desk and Jack is sitting there. No big deal. I bet he was being trained or just covering for today. I tell him I have some papers to drop off that he left at home. Jack looks at me and says he can take them. I tell him I have to give them to my husband personally since they are important. He tells me no. I give him a look and says it's his lunch break, he is not busy. Jack then tells me to sit down, girl. I was shocked and asked what he said. Same thing, sit down, girl. My temper is thin at this point and I called him a little boy that thinks he has power since he's sitting at the front desk when he isn't even a full-time employee. He looked shocked and got all red. I then go in the back, knock on the office door, and there is my husband doing nothing. I leave and Jack wasn't looking at me. I told this story to my friend and she told me he was just doing his job and I was a jerk. So am I the AH? I don't want to bring it up to my husband, he can get protective at time. Am I wrong for calling my BFF jealous and saying that she's not prettier than me, just skinnier? Background: I, 22-year-old female, have a friend, A, 23 female. She's very beautiful and much smaller than me. I'm 5 feet 4 inches / 215 pounds and she's 5 feet / no more than 120 pounds. Our dynamic is very pretty girl and her approachable friend. I have always been insecure about my weight, but I never considered myself ugly. I was always told I was beautiful for a bigger girl. Despite my insecurity and lack of attention from guys, A has never made me feel bad about my size and always tells me how pretty I am. On to the incident. I work at a movie theater with a guy, B. He has a very cute friend, C, who visits the theater often. I developed a crush on C because he didn't ignore me when A was around like other guys would. He always made me feel included in the group and was really sweet. A few days ago, B texted me C's number and told me C wanted to talk to me. I thought it was a joke at first and told A, who also thought it was a prank. We decided to text the number together and found out it was real and that C wanted to hang out with me outside of work. I was excited, but A seemed upset. I asked her if she was okay with it and she said yes. Yesterday, before C and I were supposed to meet up, A came over and started telling me about a fetish she read about called a feeder kink, which is basically people who get off on fat people eating and getting fatter. She insinuated that C has a feeder kink and that he's fetishizing me. I asked her if she only thought that because he asked me out instead of her and she said no. I asked what evidence she had to support this and she said it was just a feeling, and insisted she was only looking out for me. I told her it felt like she was trying to sabotage my date because she was jealous and didn't understand why someone would choose me over her. I said guys always choose her over me and she should just be happy for me this one time. I said it's not her fault people think she's prettier than me and C is probably just using me to get closer to her like other guys have done before and she doesn't want me to get hurt. I told her that she isn't prettier than me, she's just skinnier. She got really upset at that, called me an insecure brat and left. I ended up rescheduling my date with C, but I'm starting to wonder if dating him is worth my friendship. And I haven't talked since then and I don't know whether to apologize or wait for her to apologize to me. Am I the AH?